Imagine a world where medieval swords rival modern factory steel, where cathedrals glow with chemistry we still can't fully copy, where a single drinking cup quietly hides nanoscale color-shifting tech. Tonight, we're diving into the strangest lost technologies in history. From Viking Ulberht blades to Tesla's abandoned Wardenclyffe power tower. From Minoan flushing toilets to a Roman plant that prevented pregnancy. Scientists reverse engineer, simulate, and scan, yet some secrets stay stubbornly hidden. By the end, you'll never look at ancient people the same way again. Let's pull on the loose threads of history's most mind-bending missing inventions. How Egyptians really built the Great Pyramid's perfect stone core. The Great Pyramid's stone core looks impossibly precise from today's perspective. Ancient builders didn't have lasers, but they had obsessive surveying skills. They carefully leveled the bedrock using water-filled trenches as a reference. Teams then dragged limestone blocks on sledges, wetting sand to reduce friction. Each block was trimmed on-site using copper tools and relentless repetition. Instead of perfection in every stone, they achieved accuracy through huge numbers. Tiny errors canceled out when layers wrapped around the pyramid's central core. Over decades, generations refined joints until the interior structure locked tight. What feels like mystery today was really time, labor, and ruthless precision. Roman concrete that somehow gets stronger after centuries underwater. Roman concrete still quietly holds harbors and piers together underwater today. Unlike our modern mixes, it actually grows stronger as centuries pass. Engineers combined volcanic ash, lime, and seawater to create a reactive brew. Crystals slowly formed inside cracks, sealing them instead of letting water in. This self-healing process turned vulnerable joints into interlocking mineral structures over time. Romans didn't know the chemistry, but they noticed which mixtures survived storms. Successful recipes were guarded, copied, and reused across ports and breakwaters. What looks like magic is really geology working on human timescales. Our challenge now is reverse engineering their intuition with microscopes and lab tests. Damascus steel swords that seemed able to cut anything. Damascus steel swords earned legends for slicing helmets, gun barrels, even silk. Their secret wasn't a single recipe, but a delicate forging dance. Smiths worked crucible steel with specific impurities that created internal carbon patterns. Repeated heating and folding built microscopic layers, hard yet flexible together. If temperatures drifted, the metal turned brittle or lost its swirling design. Trade routes shifted, ores changed, and small workshops lost essential ingredients. Within generations, the exact craft vanished, leaving only surviving blades and rumors. Modern metallurgists can approximate performance, but not fully reproduce those ancient patterns. The myth remains sharper than anything we can reliably mass-produce today. Greek fire, weapon that kept burning even on water. Greek fire terrified enemies because it burned on water and clung viciously. Byzantine ships spewed it from tubes, turning sea battles into floating furnaces. The formula was a guarded state secret, likely known by only a few. Historians suspect petroleum, resins, sulfur, and quicklime in a pressurized mixture. When it hit waves, chemical reactions probably reignited it again and again. Crews trained like modern flamethrower teams, coordinating pumps, pressure, and aiming angles. Losing the secret meant losing one of Byzantium's biggest naval advantages. After the empire fell, no surviving manual explained exactly how it worked. Every reenactment today is an educated guess, not a confirmed resurrection. The Antikythera mechanism bronze computer accurately predicting eclipses. The Antikythera mechanism looked like a corroded lump pulled from a shipwreck. X-rays revealed a complex bronze gear system, like a mechanical orrery. It predicted eclipses, planetary positions, and lunar cycles with surprising accuracy. Ancient Greek craftsmen cut teeth so fine they rivaled modern clockmakers. The device likely sat in a wooden box, turned by a crank. Dials on the outside displayed future celestial events for planning festivals or voyages. Its sophistication suggests a lost tradition of similar instruments now completely vanished. We only found this one because a Roman-era ship went down. It's a reminder that history's smartest machines might still be hiding underwater. Stradivarius violins, with a sound modern makers still can't match. Stradivarius violins haunt modern luthiers who chase their legendary sound. Antonio Stradivari built instruments with uncanny projection, warmth, and responsiveness for players. Tiny details in arching, thickness, and varnish all interact in complex ways. Some researchers blame unusual wood density from a cooler Little Ice Age. Others point to mineral treatments, fungi, or microscopic changes from centuries of playing. When blind tests happen, great modern violins sometimes match or beat Strads. Yet musicians still pay millions for that combination of myth and craftsmanship. Part of the magic lives in players' expectations and emotional connection. The real secret might be 3 centuries of careful repairs and devotion. Inca megalithic stone walls with seamless, earthquake-proof puzzle joints. Inca megalithic walls in Cusco and Sacsayhuaman fit like stone puzzles. Blocks with 12 or more angles mesh so tightly, blades barely slide. The Incas didn't use iron tools, wheels, or written blueprints for these projects. Workers shaped each stone directly against its neighbors, testing and adjusting repeatedly. Highland quarries supplied andesite, dragged with ropes, ramps, and enormous organized labor. Instead of mortar, they relied on gravity, friction, and perfectly mated surfaces. That precision let walls flex slightly during earthquakes without collapsing outward. Spanish chroniclers admired the construction, but never captured workshop-level details. Today, we can describe the methods generally, but not replicate that workforce mindset. The Baalbek Trilithon blocks. No crane today could easily move. The Baalbek Trilithon blocks are limestone giants weighing hundreds of tons each. They sit stacked in a platform, dwarfing most modern construction stones. Ancient builders likely used ramps, levers, rollers, and enormous coordinated hauling teams. Quarry cuts show partially finished blocks abandoned as if plans suddenly changed. Rather than mystery energy beams, it was about patience and controlled logistics. By placing huge stones low in the structure, they stabilized everything above. Local legends later credited giants or heroes for moving the impossible blocks. Archaeologists instead see a state project flexing organizational muscle for religious prestige. The unanswered question isn't how, but why build so absurdly oversized? Stonehenge's bluestone transport and alignment with solstices using unknown methods. Stonehenge's bluestones traveled from Wales, then aligned with solstice sunrises. Moving them without engines meant exploiting every simple machine available then. Teams probably levered stones onto sledges, sliding them over wooden rollers. Rivers and rafts turned part of the journey into a watery highway. Alignment came from watching the sky obsessively, season after season, decade after decade. People tested post holes, corrected angles, and rebuilt layouts as understanding improved. The final circle embodies centuries of trial, error, and astronomical observation. Its builders didn't write treatises, but the stones are their frozen calculations. What feels like mystical precision grew from patient watching and repetitive adjustments. Viking sunstone crystals guiding longships when the sun was invisible. Viking sunstone crystals supposedly helped longships navigate when the sun vanished. Sagas mention a mysterious sunstone used on cloudy or foggy days. Some minerals, like Iceland's spar, polarize light and reveal hidden sun positions. A navigator could rotate the crystal until sky brightness looked evenly balanced. That orientation pointed toward the sun, even through overcast or near twilight. Combined with dead reckoning and coastal knowledge, it sharpened long-distance crossings. Experiments show the method works, but demands training and careful observation. No confirmed Viking navigation kit survives, so the practice remains hypothetical. Still, the idea fits a culture obsessed with seafaring and practical ingenuity. Nazca Lines, giant drawings planned without any obvious aerial view. The Nazca Lines stretch across Peru's desert as gigantic animal drawings. From the ground, many lines look like random tracks and pathways. Yet from nearby hills or simple towers, figures suddenly snap into view. Surveying with ropes, stakes, and teams let planners scale small sketches upward. Workers removed dark stones, exposing lighter soil to create bright, contrasting lines. Because the desert is dry and windless, those shallow grooves persisted millennia. Some shapes may have aligned with water sources or ceremonial walking routes. No alien runway is needed, just organized communities and ritual obsession. The real wonder is how long fragile human intentions can survive nothingness. The Baghdad battery clay jars that might have powered primitive experiments. The Baghdad battery looks like a clay jar with a copper cylinder inside. Inside that, an iron rod could have sat in an acidic liquid. Together, they form a simple galvanic cell, producing a small electric charge. Maybe artisans used it for electroplating, religious demonstrations, or party tricks. Or maybe it never held liquid, and we're misreading a mundane container. No ancient text explains its purpose, leaving experiments open to interpretation. Reconstruction shows the setup can make a faint but measurable current. Whether that mattered to its makers is still unknown and debated. Sometimes, archaeology hands us devices before it hands us instruction manuals. Mysterious Roman dodecahedra devices. No historian can fully explain. Roman dodecahedra are fist-sized bronze shapes with 12 hold faces. They appear across Europe, but no writer bothered describing their purpose. Theories range from surveying tools to candle holders, dice, or knitting aids. Each artifact's varying hole sizes suggest adjustable, not purely decorative functions. Soldiers might have used them to gauge distance or standardize spear throws. Alternatively, they could frame specific star patterns for seasonal agricultural timing. Without inscriptions, scholars test hypotheses using 3D prints and reenactments today. Every experiment explains some features while ignoring others stubbornly. For now, these gadgets remain history's favorite multi-sided, multi-theory mystery objects. Mayan blue pigment formula that refuses to fade or wash away. Mayan blue pigment clings stubbornly to murals, pottery, and incense burners. Its color stays vivid despite centuries of jungle humidity and smoke. The formula blended indigo dye with a specific clay heated carefully together. At certain temperatures, dye molecules slipped into the clay's crystal structure. That fusion locked color into a stable, almost plastic-like matrix. Artisans repeated the process in ritual contexts, linking chemistry with religion. Spanish conquest shattered workshops, but objects kept guarding the formula silently. Modern chemists cracked it using spectroscopy, kilns, and lots of trial. We can finally reproduce the shade, but not revive its ceremonial world. The lost recipe for Mithridate, Rome's legendary universal anti-poison. Mithridate was a legendary universal antidote against poisons in ancient Rome. King Mithridates supposedly tested microdoses on himself to build resistance. Later physicians expanded the recipe into a sprawling list of exotic ingredients. Opium, spices, resins, and snake flesh all swirled into one dense paste. Some versions simmered for days before being stored in precious containers. People believed it protected against assassination, plague, and everyday ailments simultaneously. Standardized pharmacology eventually dismissed it as unscientific and dangerously imprecise. Yet parts of the mixture probably did have real medicinal effects. We lost the exact recipe, but not humanity's fascination with miracle cures. Flexible Roman glass said to dent instead of shattering on impact. Flexible Roman glass stories describe cups that dent instead of shatter on impact. One legend tells of an inventor showing such a vessel to Emperor Tiberius. When it was thrown, the cup deformed, then was easily hammered back. If true, that suggests early experiments with glassy metal or weird alloys. But the tale might just warn emperors about disruptive technology and control. No confirmed surviving example of such flexible glass has been found. Roman craftsmen did create astonishingly thin, delicate, and color-changing glassware. Those real achievements probably inspired taller stories over generations of retelling. Between physics and folklore, the truth sits just beyond our fingertips. Orichalcum, the shining alloy ancient. Orichalcum was a shining alloy ancient writers ranked just below gold. Plato described Atlantis glittering with orichalcum walls, columns, and interior decorations. For centuries, scholars argued whether it was myth, brass, or something stranger. Shipwreck finds with ingots suggest a copper alloy rich in zinc. Smelters could have tuned color and luster by adjusting ingredients and temperatures. Its rarity likely came from complex production, not magical extraterrestrial metals. Merchants used the name to market prestige, much like luxury branding today. As legends grew, the metal's properties expanded far beyond reality. We may have found its chemistry, but its mythical shine still lingers. Ulberht Viking swords, forged with almost impossible medieval metallurgy. Ulberht Viking swords carried inscriptions that hinted at superior craftsmanship. Compared to typical blades, their metal was purer and stronger. Metallurgists found carbon content and cleanliness rivaling much later industrial steels. Achieving that required carefully controlled furnaces and access to exceptional raw materials. Not every sword marked Ulberht met that same high standard. Some appear to be knockoffs, copying the name without metallurgy. The best examples suggest secretive workshops guarding techniques and trade networks. As political landscape shifted, those masters likely died without apprentices ready. Today, archaeologists read their blades like signatures from vanished metallurgical geniuses. Starlite wonder plastic that survived nukes, then vanished with its inventor. Starlite was a mysterious material demonstrated on television in the 90s. It appeared to withstand blowtorches and simulated nuclear flash heat astonishingly well. Inventor Maurice Ward refused to fully reveal its exact composition publicly. He claimed it was a plastic blended with secret proprietary additives. potential partners worried about unclear patents, and Ward's reluctance to share control. After his death, remaining samples and notes never produced a clear formula. Some skeptics suspect demonstrations exaggerated performance under carefully chosen conditions. Others think industry simply walked away from a commercially awkward genius. Either way, Starlite became another almost miracle lost between ego and secrecy. Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower promised worldwide wireless power before being scrapped. Tesla built Wardenclyffe Tower, hoping to transmit power and information wirelessly. He imagined ships, homes, and factories receiving energy through the air. Financier J.P. Morgan expected mainly a profitable wireless telegraphy project instead. When Tesla's ambitions expanded, funding dried up and construction stalled completely. The tower never reached full experimental operation before creditors intervened. Dismantling it for scrap erased hardware that might confirm or disprove feasibility. Physicists today doubt large-scale wireless power via that method was practical. Still, Tesla's tower symbolizes bold ideas colliding with financial and technical reality. Wardenclyffe stands more successful as myth than as functioning infrastructure project. Apollo rocket engineering shortcuts. NASA itself now struggles to reverse engineer. The Apollo program pushed rocket engineering faster than documentation sometimes kept up. Engineers made on-the-fly adjustments, relying on tacit knowledge and slide rule intuition. Some manufacturing practices lived only in shop floor habits and unwritten procedures. When programs ended, tooling was scrapped, and specialized suppliers disappeared quickly. Today, NASA sometimes reverse engineers museum artifacts to understand exact fabrication details. Modern computers help, but they cannot resurrect lost industrial ecosystems overnight. Safety standards and materials have changed, complicating straightforward blueprint reproduction. What once seemed routine launch cadence now looks like an extraordinary sprint. The challenge isn't just remembering how, but rebuilding why decisions worked. The Telharmonium colossal electronic organ, whose exact sound is gone. The Telharmonium was a room-filling electric music machine from the 1900s. It generated tones with massive rotary alternators instead of vibrating strings. Music traveled over telephone lines to hotels, restaurants, and subscribers' homes. Its output reportedly sounded pure, warm, and strangely hypnotic to listeners. No high-quality recordings exist, only written descriptions and crude acoustic captures. The giant instrument eventually proved too expensive and unwieldy to maintain. It was dismantled, its parts repurposed or simply scrapped without sentiment. Modern recreations can simulate principles, but not the exact mechanical quirks. The Telharmonium's true voice lives only in faded reviews and imagination. Sloot coding system. Alleged software that stored movies in kilobytes. The Sloot coding system allegedly compressed entire films into a few kilobytes. Dutch inventor Ramke Jan Sloot claimed revolutionary efficiency beyond known compression techniques. Investors showed interest but remained wary without independent technical verification. Before final demonstrations, Sloot died suddenly from a reported heart attack. The crucial source code supposedly disappeared, leaving only tantalizing second-hand accounts. Some experts believe it was misunderstanding, exaggeration, or outright fraud. Others speculate about clever data reconstruction using massive shared reference libraries. Without the original disks, nobody can definitively test those extraordinary claims. Sloot's story remains a cautionary tale about secrecy, hype, and lost potential. Thomas Townsend Brown's mysterious electrogravidic lifters hinting at lost propulsion. Thomas Townsend Brown experimented with high-voltage capacitors producing strange thrust effects. His asymmetric electrodes appeared to lift toward the smaller charged side. Brown interpreted this as electrogravidics, a coupling between electricity and gravity. Later research showed much movement came from ion wind pushing surrounding air. In vacuum, those lifter devices produce far less noticeable propulsion effect. Still, rumors linked Brown's work to classified aerospace projects and experiments. Enthusiasts continue building tabletop lifters, chasing elusive over-unity performance claims. Mainstream physics sees fascinating plasma behavior, not anti-gravity breakthrough technology. Brown's legacy sits between genuine curiosity, misinterpretation, and lingering conspiracy theories. Ancient Greek steam-powered temple doors that moved like magic. Some ancient Greek temples reportedly used hidden steam mechanisms to move doors. Engineers like Hero of Alexandria described devices powered by heated water. As fires burned on altars, expanding steam pressurized concealed containers below. That pressure could drive pulleys, counterweights, or pistons attached to hinges. To worshippers, doors seemingly opened themselves in response to sacrifice. Priests benefited from theatrical technology that reinforced divine authority and wonder. Few physical remains survive, only texts and scattered archaeological hints remain. Reconstructed models show such systems were entirely feasible with period materials. Ancient engineers turned basic steam power into convincing stagecraft for the gods. The Lycurgus Cup color-shifting nanotech glass made with unknown precision. The Lycurgus Cup changes color dramatically depending on how it is lit. From one side, it appears green, from another, deep blood red. Scientists discovered tiny gold and silver nanoparticles embedded within the glass. Their size and distribution scatter light differently, creating the striking dichroic effect. Controlling particle dimensions at that scale required incredible, probably accidental precision. Artisans may have judged success only by color, not underlying physics. Whatever workshop mastered it left no recipe we can confidently follow. Modern nanotechnology finally explains the phenomenon, but not their manufacturing workflow. The cup glows as a tiny, shimmering collaboration between art and accident. Hellenistic automata robots and singing statues powered by forgotten mechanics. In Hellenistic times, engineers built mechanical theaters with moving figures. Texts describe singing birds, self-opening doors, and lifelike automated servants. Weights, flowing water, and hidden cams drove carefully timed sequences. Hero of Alexandria wrote manuals, but many designs remain partially ambiguous. Archaeological fragments rarely preserve delicate cylinders, cords, and small metal linkages. Reconstruction efforts show plausible mechanisms, yet every choice involves interpretation. Temples and royal courts used these devices to impress and intimidate visitors. Much knowledge dissolved as workshops closed and texts languished unread. Their robots show how wonder, religion, and early engineering once intertwined. Minoan palace plumbing systems with multi-story flushing toilets and drains. Minoan palaces on Crete featured surprisingly advanced indoor plumbing networks. Archaeologists found terracotta pipes running through multiple stories of buildings. Some structures appear to have flushing toilets connected to drainage systems. Rainwater and gravity carried waste away, reducing smells and stagnant pools. Designers understood gradients, water pressure, and maintenance access surprisingly well. Later Greek and Roman systems sometimes matched, but rarely clearly surpassed them. Earthquakes, fires, and time destroyed much, leaving only tantalizing pipe sections. Reconstruction requires guessing how bathrooms, cisterns, and courtyards originally interconnected. Minoan plumbing proves ancient comfort and hygiene sometimes flowed remarkably smoothly. Lost Chinese formula for the ultra-strong Han purple pigment crystal. Han purple was an artificial pigment used on ancient Chinese artifacts. Its vivid hue came from a complex barium-copper silicate compound. Craftsmen synthesized it centuries before modern inorganic chemistry formally existed. Producing it required controlled high temperatures and carefully chosen mineral ingredients. At some point, workshops stopped making it, and the method disappeared. Modern labs recreated Han purple by reverse engineering surviving microscopic pigment particles. Interestingly, the crystal shows unusual quantum behavior in extreme physics experiments. Ancient artists, of course, cared mainly about its striking visual impact. Their lost recipe accidentally created a material still fascinating scientists today. Secret recipes behind ultra-durable medieval stained glass cathedral windows. Medieval stained glass windows glow with colors that have lasted centuries. Artisans mixed sand, ash, and metal oxides into molten batches. Small changes in ingredients and firing temperature transformed hues dramatically. Some reds and deep blues proved especially stable under sunlight and weather. Later glassmakers struggled to replicate those shades consistently using industrial processes. Trace elements from local sands or wood ash likely played crucial roles. Because recipes were guarded guild secrets, documentation remained sparse and cryptic. Conservators now analyze fragments with microscopes to decode forgotten furnace chemistry. Meanwhile, cathedral windows keep casting luminous, enigmatic light across stone floors. Legendary Nepenthe mood-altering drug from Greek myths now unidentified. Greek literature mentions Nepenthe, a potion that banished sorrow and grief. It appears in stories as a gift from distant exotic lands. Scholars have proposed opium, cannabis, wine mixtures, or entirely symbolic interpretations. Descriptions emphasize emotional relief more than specific physical symptoms or preparation steps. No surviving recipe clearly matches every detail across different ancient sources. It may have been a regional herbal blend now botanically unrecognizable. Or perhaps writers exaggerated, turning normal intoxication into near-magical oblivion. In any case, Nepenthe symbolizes humanity's yearning to chemically escape pain. The actual drug, if it existed, is thoroughly lost to history. Silphium, Roman wonder plant, used as a reliable natural contraceptive. Silphium was a highly prized plant growing near ancient Cyrene. Romans valued it for medicine, seasoning, and, remarkably, reliable birth control. Classical writers described its seeds as effective when taken after intercourse. Over-harvesting and limited growing range reportedly drove the plant to extinction. No living specimen is known, and botanical identification remains uncertain. Some propose related fennel species, but evidence never fully aligns. Chemical analysis of ancient residues might someday narrow the possibilities slightly. Until then, Silphium represents humanity's recurring search for safe contraception. Its disappearance shows how ecological collapse can erase powerful pharmacological knowledge. Ancient Indian Wootz steel crucibles that created superplastic, high-carbon metal. Wootz steel from India astonished traders with flexible, razor-sharp blades. It was produced in small crucibles, carefully sealed and heated. Iron, charcoal, and trace impurities melted together into uniform, high-carbon ingots. Slow cooling formed carbides that later produced patterned, incredibly tough blades. Replicating exact microstructures has proven challenging for modern metallurgists. Ancient smiths probably relied on visual cues, experience, and tightly controlled furnaces. When trade patterns shifted, some knowledge dissipated across many scattered workshops. Today, Wootz inspires both Damascus reproductions and advanced alloy research. Its story shows global technology once flowed through crucibles, caravans, and memory. Persian and Roman Archimedes heat ray mirrors, said to ignite ships. Stories claim Archimedes used mirrors to ignite enemy ships at sea. Similar legends appear later about Persian or Roman defensive mirror arrays. Experiments with polished shields or glass show mixed, often disappointing results. Focusing enough sunlight to start fires reliably is surprisingly difficult. Wind, wave motion, and moving targets all sabotage ideal laboratory conditions. Most historians think flaming projectiles and conventional weapons did the real damage. The mirror tales likely grew from experiments, then inflated by patriotic storytelling. They still inspire solar concentrator research and periodic television reenactments today. Whatever the truth, the heat ray lives on as science-flavored legend. Aztec and Mixtec featherwork capes that seemed to glow like holograms. Aztec and Mixtec artisans created featherwork capes shimmering like living rainbows. They used iridescent feathers from tropical birds layered with extraordinary precision. Light scattered across microscopic structures, producing shifting colors as viewers moved. European observers compared them to jewels, metals, and indescribable otherworldly surfaces. Featherworkers followed complex designs tied to status, cosmology, and state power. Conquest, disease, and suppression nearly erased entire schools of this artistry. Few original pieces survived humidity, insects, and centuries of careless handling. Modern conservators struggle to stabilize them without dulling their optical magic. These garments prove textiles can embody technology as sophisticated as metalwork. The Olmec colossal heads quarrying and transport methods using Stone Age tools. The Olmec carved colossal basalt heads weighing many tons each. Quarries lay kilometers away from final ceremonial plazas and sites. Workers likely shaped boulders using hammerstones, abrasives, and incredible patience. Transport probably relied on log rollers, sledges, ropes, and coordinated manpower. Seasonal flooding may have helped move them along temporary water routes. No written records explain logistics, only scattered archaeological traces and experiments. Community labor and ritual significance likely justified enormous physical investment. Once installed, heads embodied rulers, ancestors, or supernatural forces in stone. They still gaze silently, while the exact hauling routes remain debated. Chinese earthquake detectors with dragon jars that revealed distant tremors. Ancient Chinese texts describe a bronze vessel adorned with dragons and toads. During distant earthquakes, a ball supposedly dropped from one dragon's mouth. The ball landed in a toad's open mouth, indicating shaking direction. No complete original instrument survives, only later reconstructions and descriptions. Engineers propose internal pendulums, or weighted rods, triggering specific release mechanisms. If accurate, it would be among humanity's earliest seismological instruments. Debate continues over sensitivity, reliability, and whether accounts were embellished. Regardless, the design shows remarkable thinking about invisible forces and directionality. It foreshadows modern earthquake science using beautifully theatrical, symbolic hardware. Mysterious Celtic mirrors and polished scrying metals with unknown polishes. Celtic elites buried with mirrors made from highly polished bronze or silver. Surfaces were smooth enough to reflect faces, jewelry, and surrounding light. Creating that finish required abrasives, binders, and extended hand-polishing sessions. Exact materials remain uncertain because organic compounds rarely survive in graves. Some mirrors show swirling engravings that may have aided trance states. Later folklore associates mirrors with divination, prophecy, and spirit communication. Whether these served cosmetics, ritual, or both is still debated. Conservators struggle to clean them without erasing microscopic polishing evidence. Each surviving mirror is a dim, tarnished portal into lost craftsmanship. Lost blacksmithing tricks behind indestructible Japanese Masamune katana blades. Masamune's name became legendary for forging exceptionally balanced Japanese swords. His katanas supposedly combined razor edges with surprising resilience against breaking. Traditional methods layered different steels, then differentially hardened the blade. Clay coatings controlled cooling rates, producing a hard edge and softer spine. Subtle variations in clay mixture, temperature, and quenching medium mattered enormously. Later smiths preserved techniques, but individual intuition shaped every master's results. War, modernization, and changing weapon laws disrupted many family forges. Today, even brilliant smiths rarely achieve exactly Masamune's famed combination. His reputation lives where metallurgical skill, mythology, and national pride intersect.